We all know who Jordan Poole is. The good.
Manageable going into the fourth. Big 2 minutes here for the Chicago Bulls. Poole from the logo. Jordan.
The bad.
Poole to the baseline.
The baddies.
You give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know.
And the punch. But at one point in time, he was dubbed to be the third Splash Brother in the future of the Warriors franchise, to then being shipped off to Washington, where he was statistically the worst player in the league at one point. The fall-off is one for the record books, but can Jordan Poole be saved?
I don't see this. I think Jordan Poole has a lot of growing to do with his game. Solid shooter, but undersized. I don't see how Jordan Poole cracks more than 5 or 6 minutes a game. To me, Jordan Poole was not a top 50 prospect in this draft.
Coming fresh off a finals loss in 2019, the Warriors dynasty seemed to be slowing down. Granted, they were dealing with injuries all throughout the postseason, and they probably would have won if they were healthy. But now KD's future with the Warriors remained uncertain, as seen through the tension between Draymond and KD throughout the season. As the Warriors were managing all of these uncertainties with their roster, I'm sure the 28th pick they had in the draft was the least of their worries. Jordan Poole could have very well been an afterthought, especially with the pick such late in the draft. Nonetheless, Jordan Poole, a sophomore out of Michigan, showed promising potential. He averaged 13 points per game on 43% shooting from Michigan, which was double his output from his freshman season, and was named to the All-Big Ten that same season. Throughout the year, he showcased flashes of talent, including a standout 26-point game against South Carolina. In the tournament, he continued to impress, helping Michigan reach their third consecutive Sweet 16 with memorable performances, like his game winner against Houston in the second round.
Abdul-Rahman at midcourt, extra pass, and it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole!
At the draft combine, Poole was recognized as a talented combo guard and one of the best shooters in the draft, known for his unlimited range and ability to create shots for himself with crafty handling, whether off screens, pulling up, or finishing at the basket. However, he did face criticism. His maturity, size, lack of NBA body, carelessness with the ball, and turnovers were all questioned. Despite these concerns, the Warriors selected him with the 28th pick. Whether they saw it as a throwaway pick is unclear, but it ironically turned out to be one of the best draft decisions by the Warriors front office in recent history.
Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. According to a report, Kevin Durant is planning to sign with the Brooklyn Nets and team up with Kyrie Irving.
With KD officially gone, the Warriors faced a lot of questions. Was their roster still good enough to compete for a championship? When would Klay come back? And would he be 100%? Things weren't looking good for the Warriors. Things got even worse when, just 4 games into the season, Curry suffered a major hand injury that sidelined him for most of the year. With their key players out, the Warriors saw the season as a write-off and planned to rebuild and try again next year. Rookie Jordan Poole experienced this rough season firsthand. Like most rookies, he had a tough time adjusting to the NBA. He averaged 8 points per game, but struggled with his shooting, hitting only 33.3% from the field and 27% from 3. His defense was also pretty weak. He had trouble keeping up with quick guards and couldn't handle the taller, physical size of the NBA. Despite these issues, Poole showed signs of his potential with his scoring and confidence in taking big moment shots. Even though the Warriors finished last in the Western Conference, making one of the worst seasons in recent memory, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise for Poole. Getting lots of playing time and experience on the court was crucial for his growth and would help him in the future. With the healthy Curry and the long-awaited return of Klay Thompson in the 2021-2022 season, the Warriors were looking strong and hopeful to add another banner to their franchise. They added two-way forward Andrew Wiggins, who would become a first-time All-Star that season, and valuable role players like Gary Payton II, Kelly Oubre Jr., Ken Bazemore, Kevon Looney, and of course Jordan Poole. The Warriors finished the season strong with a 53-29 record, earning the third spot in the Western Conference. Jordan Poole had a breakout season, averaging 18.5 points per game on 44% shooting and 36% from 3. He was a key player off the bench, providing a spark and relieving pressure off of Curry defensively. In the playoffs, the Warriors easily beat Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets in 5 games, with Poole averaging 21, 5, and 2 in the series. They then defeated the Grizzlies in the second round and the Mavericks in the third, with Poole continuing to shine as a young, energetic scorer off the bench. The Warriors faced their toughest opponent in the finals against Boston, who were the favorites to win it all. Curry re-injured his knee in Game 3 and wasn't at 100%, but the Warriors still prevailed in 6 games, reigniting their dynasty and cementing Curry's legacy with his first Finals MVP. All praise was towards Jordan Poole too, as he proved to be an integral part of their season and their championship run, with talks of him being the future of the Warriors, the next generation of the Splash Brothers, and even talks of contract extensions. What could possibly go wrong?
Draymond Green punched teammate Jordan Poole at practice today after the two had been verbally going at it during what was described as a heated practice.
I mean, there was obvious tension between Draymond and Poole all throughout the summer, especially with them both being up for contract extensions. It was here Jordan Poole's ego and immaturity began to peek through a little bit. Even before the fight, there were rumors of Poole being a high-ego, immature locker room cancer. Maybe the championship run and newly found success in the season got to his head, but he was put in his place really quick. I don't know if this was the catalyst of the Poole downfall, but it definitely raised questions and concerns about this Warriors roster and if they would be able to repeat as title contenders. Nonetheless, Poole was offered his extension and continued his role as the secondary offensive spark, and the Warriors finished the season as a 6th seed. They faced off against the 3rd-seeded Kings, seeing their first playoff action in 17 years, led by De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. Here, we can see Poole start to struggle. In 4 of the eventual 7-game series, he scored 10 or less points. That combined with his carelessness with the ball throughout the series, it was becoming clear that this wasn't the same Poole we saw in the postseason last year. Something was different. Fortunately for the Warriors, they were able to escape the Kings in 7, thanks to none other than Steph Curry, delivering an insane 50-point performance to set up their second-round date with the Los Angeles Lakers. In this series, all of Jordan Poole's flaws and problems were exposed. Poole just wasn't a factor for the Warriors at all. He was inefficient, turnover-prone, and seemed like he didn't care, just chucking up shots and not contributing at all. If his poor performance in Game 1 wasn't enough of a sign.
Curry double team. Jordan Poole lets it fly. No! Long rebound to Schroeder. Clock ticks. A timeout. Lakers.
He averaged only 8 points in the series. With only so much Steph could do, the Warriors were eventually packed up in 6 games. It was clear that Poole's time with the Warriors was ending. Curry was only getting older, and the team needed to focus on winning now with their small window. Poole was too much of a liability and project to help with that. So, in the same offseason, he was traded to the Washington Wizards in a multi-team deal that brought Chris Paul back to the Warriors. Just like that, the player who was supposed to be the future of the franchise was gone. While many wrote off Jordan Poole after the trade, some were hopeful that he would turn things around with Washington. There was even talks of him becoming an all-star that season. Boy, were they wrong. There's not much left to say. Poole has seen a drop in production in almost every category since being traded, and there are no signs of him improving anytime soon. It wasn't Draymond's punch or the trade that slowed him down. It's his own ego. As long as he keeps playing with a big ego and always going for a highlight, he'll keep racking up lowlights and stay mediocre. But if he can somehow set his ego aside, he does have the talent to bounce back and become a top guard in the league. So, can he be saved? Yes. But it's up to him to swallow his own pride and play basketball the way it's meant to be played. Only time will tell with him. Until next time, man.